The truth about love, relationships, and miscommunication is not something Marcus Aurelius wrote about directly in modern words, but his thoughts guide us deeply when we apply Stoic wisdom to human connection. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher. He believed that peace comes from understanding ourselves, controlling our reactions, and seeing reality clearly. When we look at love and relationships through his ideas, we begin to understand why so many people suffer, why misunderstandings grow, and why love often turns into pain. Love, according to Stoic thinking, is not about possession. It is not about control. It is not about expecting someone else to complete you. Most relationship problems begin because people expect too much from others and too little from themselves. Marcus Aurelius taught that the only thing fully under our control is our own mind. When we forget this, we start blaming others for how we feel. This is where miscommunication is born. In relationships, people often believe that their partner should automatically understand them. They think, if they love me, they should know what I feel. This belief creates silent expectations. When those expectations are not met, disappointment grows. But Marcus Aurelius reminds us that other people cannot read our thoughts. They act based on their own experiences, fears, and understanding. Expecting perfect understanding without clear communication is unfair and unrealistic. Miscommunication happens not because people are evil, but because people see the world differently. Marcus Aurelius said that every person acts according to what seems right to them. When someone hurts you with words or actions, it is often not intentional. They are acting from their own beliefs and limitations. Understanding this can reduce anger and resentment in relationships. One of the biggest truths about love is that love is tested when emotions are strong. When things are going well, communication feels easy. But when stress, jealousy, fear, or insecurity appear, communication becomes difficult. Marcus Aurelius advised us to pause before reacting. He believed that strong emotions cloud judgment. In relationships, reacting emotionally often leads to words that hurt deeply and stay in memory for years. Another important idea from Marcus Aurelius is acceptance. Acceptance does not mean tolerating disrespect or abuse. It means accepting that people are imperfect. Your partner will make mistakes. They will misunderstand you sometimes. They will fail to meet your expectations. When you expect perfection, you create suffering for yourself. Love grows when you accept human flaws while maintaining your own values and boundaries. Many people confuse love with attachment. Attachment is fear-based. It fears loss, loneliness, and rejection. Love, in Stoic terms, is calm and rational. It wishes well for the other person without demanding ownership. When attachment controls a relationship, miscommunication increases. Every small issue feels like a threat. Every silence feels like rejection. Marcus Aurelius would remind us that fear comes from false judgments, not from reality itself. He often wrote about seeing things as they truly are, not as we imagine them to be. In relationships, imagination is dangerous. We imagine intentions. We imagine hidden meanings. We imagine future problems that may never happen. This leads to unnecessary conflict. Clear communication means asking, not assuming. It means listening to understand, not listening to reply. Marcus Aurelius believed that calm discussion is more powerful than emotional arguments. When partners shout, blame, or insult each other, communication breaks down completely. Words spoken in anger lose their truth. He advised speaking with kindness and reason even when emotions are strong. This does not mean suppressing feelings, but expressing them with control and clarity. Another truth about relationships is that silence can be more harmful than conflict. Many people avoid difficult conversations because they fear confrontation. They stay silent, hoping problems will disappear. But unspoken feelings turn into resentment. Marcus Aurelius believed in honesty with oneself first. If you do not understand your own feelings, you cannot communicate them clearly to others. Self-awareness is the foundation of healthy communication. Before blaming your partner, you must ask yourself, why does this bother me? Is it my expectation, my insecurity, or my fear? Marcus Aurelius taught that inner work is more important than changing others. When you understand yourself, your words become clearer and calmer. In love, people often want validation. They want to feel seen, valued, and important. When this need is not met, they feel ignored. But Marcus Aurelius warned against depending on external validation. When your happiness depends completely on another person's words or actions, you give away your inner peace. A healthy relationship is built by two complete individuals, not two broken people trying to fix each other. Miscommunication also happens when people speak from ego instead of truth. Ego wants to win arguments. It wants to be right. It wants control. But love requires humility. Marcus Aurelius believed that being wrong is not a weakness. Admitting mistakes strengthens relationships. When both partners drop their ego, communication becomes honest and healing. Another Stoic idea is impermanence. Everything changes. Feelings change. People change. Relationships change. When people expect love to feel the same forever, they feel disappointed. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that change is natural. Accepting change reduces fear and conflict. Instead of resisting change, couples should communicate openly about how they are evolving. Many relationships fail not because of lack of love, but because of lack of understanding. Understanding requires effort. It requires patience. It requires listening without interrupting. Marcus Aurelius valued patience deeply. He believed patience is strength, not weakness. In relationships, patience allows space for growth and clarity. He also spoke about kindness as a duty. Being kind is not a reaction. It is a choice. Even when misunderstood or even when hurt, responding with kindness can change the direction of a relationship. Kind words soften defenses. Calm explanations invite understanding. Harsh words build walls that are difficult to break. Another important truth is that communication is not only about words. Tone, timing, and body language matter. Speaking truth at the wrong time can cause damage. Marcus Aurelius encouraged wisdom in action. Knowing when to speak and when to stay silent is part of emotional intelligence. He believed that life is short. This awareness should guide our relationships. Many arguments are meaningless in the long run. Pride keeps people apart longer than necessary. Marcus Aurelius would ask us to consider, is this worth losing peace? Is this worth damaging love? Often, the answer is no. Miscommunication also comes from unrealistic romantic ideas. Movies and stories teach us that love should be effortless. But Marcus Aurelius believed that everything valuable requires effort. Relationships require daily work, understanding, and discipline. When people stop trying to communicate clearly, distance grows. Another truth is that people hear words through their emotional state. If someone is tired, stressed, or insecure, they may misunderstand even kind words. This is why empathy is essential. Marcus Aurelius practiced putting himself in others' place. In relationships, empathy allows us to speak gently and listen deeply. He also taught that we should not try to control others' behavior. Control creates resistance. Guidance, understanding, and example create respect. When partners try to control each other, communication becomes a battle. When they respect each other's freedom, communication becomes cooperation. Finally, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that inner peace should not depend on relationship outcomes. Love is meaningful, but it should not destroy your balance. When communication fails despite honest effort, acceptance is necessary. Forcing understanding only increases pain. In the second part, we go deeper into how Marcus Aurelius's Stoic wisdom helps us deal with emotional pain, conflict, and misunderstanding in love and relationships. Many people believe that love should protect them from pain. But Marcus Aurelius would say that pain is not caused by love itself. It is caused by our judgments about love. When we expect relationships to always satisfy our emotional needs, we create pressure. This pressure slowly turns love into a burden. One of the most important Stoic lessons is emotional responsibility. Marcus Aurelius believed that no one can harm your inner peace without your permission. In relationships, this idea feels difficult to accept. People say they hurt me with their words. But Stoicism teaches that words only have power when we accept their meaning as truth. This does not mean ignoring hurtful behavior, but it means understanding that our emotional reaction is something we can control. Miscommunication often becomes painful because people take everything personally. A partner may be tired, distracted, or stressed, but the other person interprets it as lack of love or care. Marcus Aurelius advised us to pause and examine our thoughts. Ask yourself, is this truly about me, or am I creating a story in my mind? Many relationship conflicts exist only in imagination. Another major source of miscommunication is fear of vulnerability. People hide their true feelings because they fear rejection or judgment. They speak indirectly, hoping their partner will understand. Marcus Aurelius believed that living truthfully is a moral duty. Speaking honestly, even when uncomfortable, creates clarity. Silence may feel safe, but it slowly damages trust. He also warned against emotional dependency. When one person becomes the center of your happiness, fear controls communication. You become afraid to speak honestly because you fear losing them. This leads to pretending, pleasing, and suppressing emotions. Over time, this creates emotional distance. True love allows honesty without fear. Marcus Aurelius wrote often about not being ruled by desire. Desire in relationships often appears as the desire to be loved in a certain way. When this desire becomes strong, disappointment is inevitable. Your partner may love you, but not in the exact way you imagine. Accepting different expressions of love reduces misunderstanding. Conflict in relationships is natural. Marcus Aurelius did not believe in avoiding conflict, but in handling it wisely. He taught that anger is a temporary madness. When couples argue in anger, they aim to hurt rather than to understand. This is why many arguments repeat again and again. The problem is never solved because it is never discussed calmly. Timing is a powerful element in communication. Marcus Aurelius believed in choosing the right moment for important actions. In relationships, difficult conversations should not happen when emotions are high. Waiting for calm is not avoidance, it is wisdom. Calm minds seek solutions, emotional minds seek victory. Another truth is that listening is more important than speaking. Many people listen only to respond. They prepare their defense instead of understanding the other person's pain. Marcus Aurelius practiced deep observation. He believed that understanding others is a form of justice. In relationships, listening without interrupting shows respect and builds trust. Miscommunication also comes from different emotional languages. Some people express love through words, others through actions, time, or care. When partners do not understand each other's emotional language, they feel unloved even when love is present. Marcus Aurelius would remind us to observe actions more than words. Reality is shown through consistent behavior, not promises. He also warned against holding on to past pain. In relationships, people often bring old wounds into new conversations. They remember past mistakes and use them as weapons. This poisons communication. Marcus Aurelius believed that carrying past anger is like carrying a heavy burden. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it is for your own peace. Another Stoic principle is fairness. Marcus Aurelius believed in judging situations objectively. In relationships, people often see only their own pain. They forget that their partner also has struggles and fears. Fair communication considers both sides. It avoids blame and focuses on understanding. He also taught the importance of self-respect. Love does not mean tolerating constant disrespect or emotional harm. Clear communication includes setting boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are guidelines for mutual respect. When boundaries are not communicated, resentment grows silently. Many relationships suffer because people try to change each other. Marcus Aurelius accepted that people change only when they choose to. Trying to force change creates resistance. Instead of demanding change, communicate your needs clearly and allow the other person freedom to respond. Another truth is that love is not proven in words during happy moments, but in actions during difficult times. Marcus Aurelius believed that character is revealed under pressure. How partners speak to each other during conflict shows the true strength of the relationship. He also emphasized simplicity. Overthinking ruins communication. People analyze messages, tones, and silences endlessly. This mental noise creates anxiety. Marcus Aurelius encouraged a simple view of life. If something is unclear, ask directly. Simple questions prevent complex problems. Miscommunication is also fueled by ego wounds. When people feel disrespected, they react defensively. Ego wants to protect its image. But Marcus Aurelius believed that humility brings freedom. Letting go of the need to be right opens space for understanding. Another important idea is shared responsibility. A relationship is not me versus you, but us versus the problem. When couples see conflict as a shared challenge, communication becomes cooperative. Marcus Aurelius believed in working with others for the common good. He also taught that patience is an act of love. Not everyone learns or changes at the same speed. Expecting instant understanding creates frustration. Patience allows growth and learning. In relationships, patience gives space for honest expression. Finally, Marcus Aurelius reminds us that not all misunderstandings can be resolved. Some differences are natural. Accepting this prevents endless struggle. Love does not mean total agreement. It means mutual respect despite differences. In this final part, we focus on the deeper wisdom of Marcus Aurelius and how it helps us create lasting peace in love, relationships, and communication. By now, one truth becomes very clear. Love is not something that happens to us. It is something we practice every day. Marcus Aurelius believed that a good life is built through daily discipline of thought, emotion, and action. The same principle applies to relationships. One of the strongest Stoic ideas is inner stability. Marcus Aurelius taught that when your mind is stable, external situations lose their power over you. In relationships, this means that love should add to your life, not control it. When partners rely completely on each other for happiness, communication becomes desperate. Fear enters every conversation. But when both people have inner balance, communication becomes calm and respectful. Another deep truth is that misunderstanding is part of human nature. Marcus Aurelius accepted human limitations. People get tired, distracted, confused, and emotionally overwhelmed. Expecting perfect communication is unrealistic. Instead of asking for perfection, ask for effort and honesty. This mindset reduces frustration and increases compassion. He also believed in speaking with purpose. Many arguments in relationships exist because people talk without clarity. They speak to release emotion, not to solve a problem. Marcus Aurelius would remind us to ask ourselves before speaking, is this necessary? Is this true? Is this kind? These three questions can transform communication completely. Love often suffers because people confuse emotional intensity with emotional truth. Strong feelings do not always mean deep truth. Anger, jealousy, and fear can feel powerful, but they are often based on assumptions. Marcus Aurelius warned against trusting every emotion. He believed emotions should be examined, not obeyed. In relationships, this means questioning emotional reactions before expressing them. Another important lesson is the value of silence. Silence is not avoidance when used wisely. Sometimes stepping back prevents unnecessary damage. Marcus Aurelius practiced inner reflection daily. He believed that silence allows clarity. In relationships, taking time before responding can prevent regretful words. He also taught gratitude. Gratitude shifts focus from what is missing to what is present. Many people focus on what their partner does wrong and ignore what they do right. This creates emotional distance. Gratitude softens the heart and improves communication naturally. When people feel appreciated, they become more open and understanding. A major cause of relationship breakdown is the fear of being alone. This fear makes people tolerate unhealthy dynamics or avoid honest communication. Marcus Aurelius believed that self-respect is more important than external approval. Being comfortable with yourself gives you the courage to speak truthfully, even when it is difficult. He also believed in leading by example. Instead of demanding better communication from your partner, become a better communicator yourself. Speak calmly. Listen patiently. Apologize sincerely. Marcus Aurelius believed that our actions influence others more than our words. Another powerful truth is that love does not guarantee permanence. People grow in different directions. Marcus Aurelius accepted impermanence as a law of nature. This acceptance reduces suffering. When people cling too tightly, communication becomes controlling. When they accept change, communication becomes open and honest. Miscommunication also comes from ignoring reality. People often stay in relationships based on hope rather than truth. Marcus Aurelius valued reality over illusion. Honest communication includes acknowledging when something is not working. Avoiding truth only delays pain. He also warned against victim thinking. In relationships, it is easy to see yourself as the one who suffers more. But Marcus Aurelius believed that seeing oneself as a victim weakens the mind. Taking responsibility for your role in conflicts restores power and clarity. Another lesson is forgiveness with wisdom. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or repeating harmful patterns. It means releasing emotional poison. Marcus Aurelius believed that holding anger harms the one who holds it. Forgiveness clears the mind and improves communication, but it must be combined with boundaries. He also emphasized shared values. Communication becomes easier when partners share core values like honesty, respect, and growth. When values are misaligned, communication feels forced. Marcus Aurelius believed that harmony comes from shared principles, not constant agreement. Love also requires courage. Courage to speak uncomfortable truths, courage to listen without defense, courage to walk away when respect is lost. Marcus Aurelius believed courage is a daily practice. In relationships, courage protects dignity and clarity. Another powerful idea is presence. Many misunderstandings happen because people are physically present but mentally absent. Marcus Aurelius believed in full attention to the present moment. In relationships, presence means listening without distraction and speaking with intention. He also taught that peace is the highest goal. Winning arguments, proving points, or controlling outcomes brings temporary satisfaction but lasting unrest. Marcus Aurelius valued inner peace above all. When peace becomes the priority, communication becomes gentle and meaningful. In the end, the truth about love, relationships, and miscommunication is simple but difficult to practice. Love is not about being understood all the time. It is about trying to understand. It is not about avoiding conflict, but about handling it with wisdom. It is not about changing others, but about mastering yourself. Marcus Aurelius teaches us that when we control our reactions, accept human imperfection, communicate honestly, and act with kindness, relationships become a source of growth instead of suffering. Miscommunication will still happen, but it will no longer destroy connection. Instead, it will guide deeper understanding. This is the Stoic path of love: calm, conscious, respectful, and strong. The truth is, love does not fail because people stop caring. It fails because people stop understanding each other. The teachings inspired by Marcus Aurelius remind us that clarity, patience, and self-control can transform the way we love and communicate. If this video added value to your life, please like it to show your support. Share it with friends, family, or anyone who may need this message today. And subscribe to the channel to continue learning timeless wisdom that helps you live with calm, confidence, and emotional strength.